Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Deffinition, and it's time to break down the best and worst show that Netflix has ever made. That is Too Hot to Handle. Released on National Horny Day, Too Hot to Handle is a dating show of our time that enforces social distancing and makes it so that people get in trouble for coming into contact with one another. Basically, the premise is that a number of ripped men and bikini-wearing women that think 4 weeks constitutes as a long-term relationship all get together on an island in order to win a prize of $100,000. But there's one proviso. In order to do it, they have to keep it in their pants. Every time they kiss, have an intimate moment, or accidentally trip and fall into a vagina, their prize money is reduced. Wait, $100,000 and all they have to do is not have sex? Just get married. Boom! If my wife's watching this, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Anyway, Too Hot to Handle has clearly collected the sickest, most psychotic nymphomaniacs in the world that would quite happily ruin their holiday, chances of winning $100,000, and the trust of their friends just to kiss a guy that they're actually not that into. I'm actually not into him. You will hate it within the first 30 seconds, but watch 8 hours of it anyway. Leave your brain at home, don't think too much because you'll hurt yourself, and sit back and watch it as you remember how fun summer used to be. Before we get into the cast themselves, we have to talk about Lana, aka the third iteration of Skynet. After Lana failed to kill humanity using Terminators, she's decided that the only way to actually stop us is to take away our ability to breed. However, even she is tempting, as her name is anal backwards. Now, firstly, we have the villain of the piece, Francesca, who is basically all the crappy people from Mean Girls combined into one. She enslaves a poor, easily led henchman named Haley, who she tricks into falling in love with her just so that she can manipulate her. Once she serves her purpose, she abandons her, which makes her leave the holiday of a lifetime. But it's not like we care because she sucked anyway. Francesca woos Harry and the two kiss, which loses their money, and both pin the blame on one another. This makes Francesca and Haley, for some reason, decide that they will lose the group more money, and thus they kiss one another. I still have no idea what Haley got out of all of this, other than kissing a really attractive woman with a perfect but never mind. At first they managed to cover up this crime, and due to their Oscar-worthy acting will probably clean up at the awards this year, which won't be that hard right now. They get angry at being accused, blame others for their failings, and eventually everyone sees them for what they really are, which is the greatest love story of all time. Throughout the show, Francesca consistently loses the group money, and she's worse for the economy than COVID is. By the climax of the series, I think she actually loses them about $35,000, but it's not like she needed it for a boob job anyway. Now, when you're losing this much money, you're gonna stress people out, and no more is this more apparent than with Kells, who back home is an accountant. I feel like this guy needs to replace the Jordan Peele sweating meme, because every time I see him, he's looking more and more stressed out. It's like he's seeing the pennies slowly slip away second by second, whilst Francesca's vajayjay ends up like a J.K. Rowling book. Why is that? Because it's got Harry in it. He even turns down a kiss from Francesca because Scrooge McCuck is more bothered about the money than the Monopoly man. In the end, he's not a bad guy, and I know I rinsed on him a bit, but I was quite happy to see him finally get reunited with his one true love in the end, Cash. There's also David, who isn't too bad of a guy either. The muscle man pretty much always ends up second best because he's the type of man that can't even make eye contact with someone without crying. However, he genuinely is a nice guy, and if this was the Matrix, then he would be fully written in bro code. He puts his friends first, namely Sharon, before everyone else. He even says when he looks at Rhonda that he can't stare at her without thinking of Sharon. Which, yeah, I'm surprised the girls aren't falling at your feet, mate. He also says to Rhonda, I stopped seeing your body, which she replies with, no one's ever said that to me before. Yeah, because it's a terrible line, love. Rhonda and Sharon end up becoming one of the power couples of the group, and the two actually build a meaningful connection with one another. Just a shame about a son who absolutely hates the guy, which coming from a single parent household myself, probably means that he's already met 40 other dudes like Sharon. Also, I've never actually heard of a guy called Charon before, except in Greek mythology. In ancient Greece, Charon was the ferryman that used to escort the souls of the damned across the river Styx, and in a way he's probably going to do the same with Rhonda and escort her on an endless life of misery and despair. Yay! Seems like a nice guy though. There's also this girl, no, Connie, yeah. Sorry, I don't remember her doing anything. At least she didn't lose their money, I suppose. And out of everyone, she's probably one of the only people that doesn't feel like they're in a show designed purely to recruit people for ISIS. Next up is Bryce, who since the death of Michael Jackson has become the world's best dancer. He goes in with his eyes on the money and his todger on the honey, but after he's told he can't do anything, he takes it worse than finding out he's in lockdown and the red light district is doing 4 for 1. Bryce lives on a boat, so he's either really rich or really poor, and he claims to be an intellectual thinker, but also doesn't know if a clock starts at 12 or 1, so now I don't know what to believe. He gets attracted to Chloe, who, though a complete idiot, discovers the word animosity. I actually quite like Chloe, and she goes on a journey of self-discovery, who after messing guys around gets a taste of her own medicine. She's screwed over by a guy named Corey, who has the same haircut as Toadstool from Mario. He comes in to have some fun, but gets kicked out because what kind of guy gets both nipples pierced? Here comes the dislikes. Lastly, well, out of all of the people that are actually worth talking about is Matthew, who's nicknamed Jesus. Now, by the end of the show, you might actually believe that he is in fact Jesus. He walks on water, tells tales and fables to the group, sort of becomes a cult leader, ousts the Judas, and even ends up dying for the sins of the group. Well, he leaves early, but it's the same thing. Jesus has a hilarious moment in which he sort of acts like Kurt Russell in The Thing in order to get to the bottom of Francesca and Haley's kiss, and I swear the guy should work for the CIA because he makes Sherlock Holmes look like Mr. Magoo. Now, after being celibate for all of an agonizing 3 hours, the group are gifted watches that light green when they have the green light. You know, this stuff isn't highbrow, let's be honest. It reminds me of that scene in Wonder Woman when she says that Steve lets that little watch tell him what to do. And I've just realised it's references like that why I could easily win 100 G's for no sex. Anyway, they slowly build a deeper connection, and as a reward, they're given green lights. It all comes to a head for the final night, in which Harry and Francesca must spend an entire evening in a private suite without touching one another. This will allow the 100,000 prize fund to be replenished, and they will all get a cut. Will Fran do it? Has Harry been taking self-defense classes? Well, it's one of the biggest cliffhangers since Who Shot JR, but they managed to make it through. The group leave with the prize money and all get very strong, yes that's right, very strong yonis. In the end, Kells avoids having a heart attack, Rhonda takes Sharon to meet her son, probably though I can imagine he'll set the house up like in Home Alone and drop a metal pipe on his head. And though Sharon ended up asking Rhonda to be his girlfriend in the finale, the two haven't really posted anything official on social media, so it is difficult to tell whether he's still alive or not. Rhonda's son is probably 3 now, so he's likely the same height as Sharon and has probably beat the crap out of him. Whether they're together or not, we don't know. But watch this space for more actually, I'm never revisiting this again. Mirroring this, Fran and Harry haven't updated any of their social media standings to reflect whether they're in a relationship or not. I feel so sad sitting, looking this stuff up. Dear me. They did promise to move in together and even the L-bomb was dropped. But who hasn't said that on holiday when they're drunk? I know I have. Anyway, we wish them all the best going forward. And one day, we can only hope that we get a relationship like that, couple goals and everything. Overall, Too Hot to Handle was the worst thing I've ever seen. It was a complete disaster, and I absolutely loved it. Netflix are killing it with the dating shows right now, and hopefully it's not too long before they do a show that's too hot to handle, because as we know, love is blind. So, yep, great jokes. Should you watch this? Well, it's not like you're doing anything else, is it? You had time to watch this crap video, so yeah, you're not exactly busy right now, are you? Anyway, yeah, don't forget to like the video, please. Now, obviously, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Too Hot to Handle, so drop them below in the comments to show me your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video and want something else that's a bit more lighthearted, then make sure you check out our review of Tiger King, which is going to be linked at the end. We go over the best/worst aspects of that show and discuss what happened to everyone after it. If you want to support the channel from as little as 99 cents a month, then please click the join button below. We massively appreciate it, and as a thank you, you get access to content early. If you want to come chat to us after the show, either follow us at Deffinition YT or click the Discord link in the description below. Every month we give away free movies to people who are subscribed to the channel, and this month you can win the Marvel Phase 3 Part 1 box set, and all you have to do is comment on a video and make sure you sub with notifications on. The more videos you comment on, the more you have a chance of winning, so make sure you get involved. The winner is going to be chosen at random on the 15th of May, and the set will be shipped out from then to whoever gets the prize, so best of luck to everyone who takes part. This is a channel for people who are never missing television, so if that's the kind of thing you like, you need to subscribe to Deffinition. Thanks again for taking the time to watch this. You've been the best, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.